And now, Knock 2 Studios presents Common Censored.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Common Censored. I'm Lord Sterling, and this is episode 211. As usual, all kinds of crazy stuff going on today. Harris Walz plan to ban guns if elected or selected. Busted. Kamala caught paying influencers $20K to attend the DNC, especially black talent. Interesting. And Cory Bush has lost her primary. Meanwhile, Scott Ritters' house has been raided by the FBI. That's right, I saw that, Gator. Thanks, Mama Mac, for sending that to me. Thank you guys for being here, all of you censored commoners. That's right, we together are the censored commoners working as force multipliers to accelerate and exacerbate the Great Awakening in the face of the global communist takeover. We will be victorious. Communism will be defeated. Make sure to share the show on X, Getter, Truth, Gab, Minds, Facebook, you name it, using hashtag CommonCensored when you share the show. And use hashtag InfoInfantry also if you want. When you share it, take a screenshot, send us a sit rep to commoncensoredshow@proton.me, showing us that you shared the show, and we'll tally up your shares to issue ranks and promotions in the Info Infantry. Pick your branch: Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Space Force, Special Ops. And let's get you some ranks. Rank up by sharing the show. Sharing the show will get you enlisted. Donating via Rumble Rant, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, etc. will get you in the door of the Info Infantry as a warrant officer, and committing to support the show monthly by hitting that big, beautiful join button or subscribing on Subscribestar or commoncensored.locals.com monthly will earn you a commissioned officer's rank in the Info Infantry. So thanks for helping to grow the show by sharing it. You can find us on X at Lord Sterling _ while my other account is currently banned and they still refuse to even give me a straight up answer. It's kind of ridiculous. Links to all of the articles, videos, content that we covered today will be posted down in the description immediately following the broadcast on Rumble. So if you're watching this later on and you need to maximize the efficiency of your focus and energy and time, click on down there, find the stories that interest you, and throughout the broadcast, Mama Mac will be adding in timestamps so you can jump right to the points in the episode for the topics that interest you. Speaking of Mama Mac, make sure to throw Mama Mac some love and check out alplama.com, your new herbal health guru. Use natural tinctures to remedy your ailments instead of relying on the petrochemical pharmaceutical industry that wants you sick and dependent. Alp Llama, yuck. Tastes bad, but it's so good for you. Thanks, Mama Mac. And if you want to support the show directly, you can hit up our link tree for now until we replace it with whatever all the OnlyFans girls are are using nowadays, since Linktree is blocking our link to Rumble, which is like the whole point of the most important link. They're blocking for misinformation. So screw you, Linktree, you sons of bitches. We're going to abandon you and figure out something else. All right, guys, disclaimer. Views expressed on Common Censored are only opinions. Assume everything we say is false and research for yourself. We are not giving medical, legal, or financial advice. The only advice we are giving is think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself. Question authority. Boom. And before we get into the news, let's pull some names from the hat. Anybody that has financially supported the show via Rumble Rants, Cash App, subscribing monthly, etc., it's all been automatically entered into a contest to win copies of our books. Common Sense First Edition Revived, January 1776 edition, first edition of Common Sense replicated facsimile style using high-resolution photographs of all the original pages. Images, public domain images from the UPenn Calenda Public Library, Digital Public Library. And then there's also Common Censored, which is the redacted version that's impossible to read. Let's pick out a couple names. We forgot to pick names last week, so we got to do one for last week and this week. Shuffling the names. Let's see who we got. First winner of the day, Alpha Boss. Booyah, the Alpha and the Omega winning bigly today. Congratulations, Alpha Boss. Let me know which book you want. I'll have to count up the ones that we have and see what's available. All right, let's pick the second one. This week's winner, Alpha Boss, is technically last week's winner. Threeper, Natron. What's up, guys? See you over there. Let's see who we got next. Lady Hamilton Art. Boom! Congratulations, Lady Hamilton, on winning your copy of one of these books. I've been asking people which ones they want. I got 5 of each, so I gotta figure out what's still available before Alpha Boss and Lady Hamilton let me know what you want. I'll get on that, figure it out later, and contact you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And let's get into the news. Congratulations to Alpha Boss and Lady Hamilton Art. Let's see what's first on the agenda for today. Ah, yes, guns. Kamala and Walz, are they pronouncing this Walz, not Waltz? They are coming after your guns. I played clips the other day of Kamala talking about how she wanted to ban guns previously, and so we knew this was coming. Silent Silas posted this at Raging Cujo 1222. Both Harris and Walz are coming after our guns. All I can say is good luck. Attempting to unarm law-abiding citizens won't end very well for them. Let's check out this clip and hear Kamala say it herself.
And together, when we win in November, we are finally going to pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban.
How about no, Scotty? Universal background checks, that would be imposing a prerequisite for something that's already a right, which makes no sense. So no. Background checks, no. Except unless you've had due process, and had had your guns taken away legally after some kind of conviction or something where you've waived your own rights by violating somebody else's rights. And, obviously AR bans, any regulations on guns at all are unconstitutional. If you want to regulate guns in any way, shape, or form, or any type of weapon, you're going to have to pass a constitutional amendment because none of this stuff is legal. It's all unconstitutional, color of law garbage. So it's actually perfect for Kamala to pick this loser Walz, because apparently over in his state, he's been doing this all on his own. Anyway, Walz is the perfect fit for Kamala, as he either succeeded in passing or fought for every form of gun control Kamala has been advocating for years. Universal background checks, red flag laws, assault weapons ban. Stop asking me if I want to ask Grok something. I'm just trying to highlight something and it's having this annoying pop-up come on screen. Ridiculous. So he's basically been working on this the whole time. They're like two peas in a pod that want to violate your rights.
Tim is a hunter and a gun owner who believes, as the majority of gun owners
Sorry for the low volume here.
do, that we need reasonable gun safety laws in America.
So Tim is a hunter, and as the majority of hunters thinks we need reasonable gun safety laws in America.
That we need reasonable gun safety laws.
I'll say what she's saying louder so you can hear it.
So as governor, he expanded background checks and increased penalties
for illegal firearms sales. And together, when we win in November, we are finally going to pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban. Screw these people, man. Screw these people. Volcanoes after due process, of course. Thanks, JJR, for letting her know. Appreciate it, brother. Congratulations, Lady Hamilton and Alpha Boss for winning copies of our books today. So, Tim Walz, scumbag. What other legislation did he sign? Tim Walz signed legislation redefining the term sexual orientation to include something I'm not sure if I could say on PooTube over here. The P word, the LGBTQP. Anthony Scott wrote this article over at the Gateway Pundit. Minnesota's Take Pride Act, which was signed into law by Governor Tim Walz in May of 2023, included a section that redefined the term sexual orientation to include pedophile. Yeah, I said it out loud. Oh, well. In the state's Human Rights Act. I'm like Ron Burgundy over here, just reading what's on screen without thinking about what's allowed on YouTube. Omega Directive, welcome to the chat. You just won a free book, bro. Congratulations. Minnesota's Human Rights Act, which was signed into law in 1993, adding sexual orientation as a protected class, included a caveat that stated, quote, sexual orientation does not include a physical or sexual attachment to children by an adult. Fox News reported that the Take Pride Act, which was signed into law by Walz, was first introduced by a transgender rep Lee Fink. During a Senate debate hearing on the bill, Senator Nathan Wessenberg, Little Falls Republican, urged lawmakers to vote against the bill, quote, lest the people of our state come to believe that the majority of this body supports protecting pedophilia. Wessenberg's plea was not enough, and the Senate passed the bill, and Walz ultimately signed the Take Pride Act into law. Outrageous. So these are pedo protectors and propagators. Not a good sign for the type of people that they're trying to put in the White House. Boom! Thanks, Omega. Congratulations, bro. Appreciate your support, man. Per the Star Tribune, GOP lawmakers leveled a heavy accusation at the DFL majority during public safety debates in recent days, accusing them of protecting pedos, adults who are sexually attracted to children. A disproportionate amount of debate in the House and Senate over the 500-plus page, $3.5 billion public safety bill focused on the removal of one sentence from the state's Human Rights Act. Quote, sexual orientation does not include a physical or sexual attachment to children by an adult. So they wanted to remove that. These people are insane. These people are insane.
We heard no good reason not to close the loophole to potentially open the door in some future case that someone could argue there's a protected class for those adults who are attracted to kids. No good reason. We did hear, and I will grant Representative Finke, we did hear good reason not to have it in the sexual orientation definition. I will grant that. I understand that argument. But we voted 126-0 to solve that problem in a different way. And there was no good reason given on this floor as to why we can't do that. What we heard, what we know, is that there are some, maybe in the administration, maybe in the other chamber, who have put ideological blinders on and are convinced or refuse to acknowledge the possibility that they're creating a problem with this bill without that protective language in the bill. But we've tried to work on maybe another solution. And again, that is, whether it's resistance in the administration or in the other body, that's something that this ruling Democrat trifecta refuses to do. It's irresponsible. It's reckless. It's dangerous for the future of Minnesota.
Pure evil! It's pure evil. 100% pure evil. Oh, man, these people make me want to bust out the ropes, wood chippers, spikes, and volcanoes. Yeah, that's right, Threeper. After due process, of course, FBI's asshole. We respect the rights of individuals. And pedophilia is not a right. That's not your right. Not your right. These people are crazy. Crazy. Oh, man, it was funny. Yesterday during the show, I played a clip of Aiden Ross talking about the reactions to his Trump live stream and everything. And I saw people commenting in the chat saying, he picked his nose. And I was like, shit, did I pick my nose? Like, and I went back and watched, and it was Aiden Ross was like, wow, like jamming his finger way up his nose in the middle of a live stream. I was like, wow, that is pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. In other despicable news regarding leftist tyrant Tim Walz, Cullen Linebarger wrote this article, Gateway Pundit. Radical leftist tyrant Tim Walz declares war on the Constitution. Quote, we need to push back. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech. So lying is illegal now, according to Tim Walz, and not liking people or is illegal. These people are nuts, man. Free speech isn't there to protect regular, everyday, average speech that everybody says. It's there to protect the crazy shit. The crazy, crazy shit. Hate speech, bigotry, misinformation, lies, straight up lies. That's what free speech is there to protect. It's the open and free marketplace of ideas and public debate that is designed to combat lies, not censorship. This whole concept is ridiculous, completely un-American, control freak, petty tyrant, bullshitachen. As Jim Hoft reported, Kamala Harris selected far-left Minnesota governor and military deserter Tim Walz to be her running mate on Tuesday. Walz is so far left, he excused George Floyd rioters for burning down Minneapolis in 2020 and mocked the idea of sending National Guard troops to save the city. He also supported driver's license for illegal aliens, sanctuary cities, gender-affirming care for children, and abortion on demand. Now we learn that Walz is an avowed enemy of the First Amendment and wants the country to resemble Canada, the Great White North, and the UK, the United Kingdom. Walz appeared on MSDNC. Sorry, it took me a second to get that right there. MSDNC's The Readout in December 2022 to discuss how Democrats should approach voting issues nationwide after discussing the, quote, success state Democrats across the country had, centering their campaigns around, quote, protecting democracy. The conversation turned darker when the topic shifted to censoring free speech. The host asked Walz what they could do to ensure there were penalties for spreading election misinformation, which she claimed was becoming more, quote, ominous. Ooh. Walz offered a response that should scare every freedom-loving American. Let's take a look. End Wokeness posted this. Holy shit! Governor Tim Walz. No right to free speech if the government decides it's misinformation or hateful. This man is a dangerous commie. Agreed. It's pure evil.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy. I think.
Where are you getting that? According to who? When has it ever been ruled that misinformation is not a right, that you can't lie or hate? These people are insane, man. I know. I keep saying that over and over. It's just true. It's nuts. It's completely ridiculous. The question is, do they actually believe this stuff, or are they, in on it and are just straight up lying because they're evil, tyrant, petty tyrant scumbags? My guess is probably the latter. They're agents bought and paid for, coerced via blackmail and Epstein type evidence and stuff, and they're just out there reading scripts, in my opinion. But it's not good enough for this one. Breaking. We called it. Far-left squad member Cory Bush loses in Missouri primary. Oh. So sad. Ben Q wrote this article. Far-left Democrat Cory Bush appears to have lost her bid for re-election in Missouri's 1st congressional district. While the full results from the race are yet to be counted, it's already clear that Bush will not be returning to Congress next year. Le-hoo, zu her. Bye-bye, Cory. Scumbag. Joey Manorino. Cory Bush has lost her primary in St. Louis. She is officially a loser. Loser. That's right. You're a loser, Bush. With almost 20% reporting incumbent squad member, Cory Bush is down more than 30% in her primary against pro-Israel Democrat Wesley Bell. How about we be neither pro-Israel nor pro-Palestine and just leave them all alone and keep our money for us? That's what I think we should do. Let them sort out their own bullshit. We have no part in it. And just be uninvolved. Non-interventionist foreign policy like Ron Paul prescribed. Dr. Ron Paul prescribed. Get it? Prescriptions, doctors. Because otherwise you'll get blowback like the CIA said when you meddle in foreign countries' affairs, and it creates terrorists that want to attack us because we're fucking around in their countries. We have no part doing it. It's global domination games that we're not supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be an empire. We're a constitutional republic, supposed to be holding the torch, setting an example, not forcing people to submit with subterfuge and threats and everything like that, and economic conquest, and like John Perkins' book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, where they go in and manipulate people and put them into debt, whole countries into debt, and leverage their resources to control them. And it's disgusting, man. No wonder the whole world hates us. It's un-American, everything that the empire has engaged in the past century, doing all this crap. It's crazy. Bush would join Jamal Bowman as incumbents from the squad lose their primaries this cycle. Bye-bye, squad members. Next, we got to get rid of AOC. Socialist Squad rep Cory Bush is on the verge of getting absolutely pummeled in her primary tonight, which would boot her from Congress. This is beautiful. Posts Nick Sortor as Bush is getting demolished. Totally demolished. Good to see. Good to see. Let's see. She's responded to all this now, saying all they did was radicalize me. Now they need to be afraid. So, whoa. Okay. What are you gonna do, Cory Bush? What are you gonna do? Jim Hoft wrote this one. Cory Bush goes on unhinged rant filled with threats after losing her Democrat primary. Rep. Cory Bush, radical Marxist representing St. Louis City in Congress, lost her primary race on Tuesday night to another far-left radical, Wesley Bell, the St. Louis County prosecutor. So out of the frying pan into the fire, both a couple losers. Both Bush and Bell launched their political, quote-unquote, careers as protest leaders during the Mike Brown protests and riots in 2014. Losers! Bush was vehemently anti-Israel in her remarks and policies. Bell was endorsed by AIPAC, so two sides of the same evil coin. Both of them are bad. Bell took out Bush last night in St. Louis. Oh, man. Screw you, AIPAC. How about that? Following her loss, Cory Bush went off on an angry, unhinged, and threatening rant. St. Louis Mayor Tishaura Jones was standing with Cory Bush when she launched into her tirade. We got a video here. Yeah, let's check it out.
Pulling me away from my position as Congresswoman. All you did was take some of the strings off. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
You know that shit is going to pop off whenever people start repeating the same phrase over and over and over again. You know, they're about something crazy is about to happen.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Just animal
Let's be
instinct.
clear. Let's talk about what it really is.
Is you're a
Because
common
see,
piece of
now
shit.
I don't
That's
have
what it
to
really is.
about some strings that I have attached, and as much as I love my job, but all they did was radicalize me, and so now they need to be afraid.
Afraid of what?
See, now they about to see this other Cory, this other side, because let me say this. I just grew up a whole lot more over the last few weeks. Just grew up a whole different way. And so what they are about to get, they think. So the thing is this. The thing is this. I don't think that anything, there is nothing that happens in my life that happens in vain.
You're dumb.
So if this happened, it's because it was meant to happen. And let me say,
retard alert.
it's because the work that I need to do. And let me say this. APAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down.
There's no cure for being a cunt. If you can act hysterical, I'm gonna slap you like I'm Connery.
Oh, man. These people, man. These people. They never cease to amaze. Never cease to amaze. Another amazing one. Check this one out from Libs of TikTok. The stupidity is, how would you describe this? Astronomical levels of stupidity over here, denying reality. Not surprised, coming from this weasel-looking creature over here. Libs of TikTok, at Libs of TikTok, hiya, right chick, posting, not all students who menstruate are female. Minnesota State Rep Sandra Feist. Sandra is sponsoring the bill which Tim Walz signed, which requires tampons in boys' bathrooms and schools. Tampon Tim. Hashtag Tampon Tim. Let's listen to this lunatic weasel creature describe it in her own words.
I would encourage the committee to vote no on this amendment for a few reasons. Practical, financial, social, emotional. First, there are a lot of schools that are moving towards gender-neutral bathrooms. And if we add female, we might become obsolete very quickly.
100% evil.
Who menstruate are female. We need to make sure that all
That was the line, I'll rewind.
Second, not all students who menstruate are female. We need to make sure that all students have access to these products. There are obviously less non-female menstruating students, and therefore their usage will be much lower. And that was actually calculated into the cost of this and how much we decided to fund it. And so we do not expect that the non-female menstruating students will use these products as much as the students using female bathrooms, but it's important to have them there. And that brings me to just the social emotional reasons for that. These students who are not female, who menstruate, face a greater stigma and barrier to asking for these products. And so providing them in an easily accessible place in all student bathrooms is particularly important for those students.
Nothing you just said could be classified as a coherent thought. Everybody in the internet is now dumber for having heard it. I award you -1 points. And I don't even care about mercy on your soul at this point. The volcano for you after due process. Oh, man. These people are insane. These people are insane. And speaking of Tampon Tim, Hillary Clinton has defended the Tampon Tim nickname for Tim Walz. And apparently it didn't go very well. Christina Layla wrote this one. Twice failed presidential hopeful Hillary Clinton, a.k.a. the Golden Moo-Moo, jumped in to defend Tim Walz for providing menstrual products in boys' bathrooms and schools. Trump supporters trolled Kamala Harris running mate Tim Walz with a new nickname, Tampon Tim. Here we go, Tampon Tim. Oh, man, let's see what Bongino's saying over here.
My man, Cat Turd, my man. Can we get on that? I hate to ask you again 2 days in a row. At Cat Turd too, my man. An electric force. He's like, what are there? How many forces are there in it? He's like the 7th or 8th force, like gravity, electromagnetism. Cat Turd, if you're watching, tampon guy. We got to get on. That's him. He wants tampons in the boys' bathroom.
Tampon guy, Judas.
This is going to be your vice presidential nod. Cat Turd, my man.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tampon Tim. Chaya posted memes over here with tampon boxes. Tim Walz head on it. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's hear what
they're
Hannity
calling
says.
him tonight Tampon Tim.
Hannity's kind of a scumbag, but that's funny. Hillary Clinton defended Tim Walz and conveniently left out the part that he signed a law mandating tampons in boys' bathrooms. How nice of the Trump camp to help publicize Governor Tim Walz's compassionate and common sense policy of providing menstrual products to students in the Minnesota public schools. Let's do this everywhere. Yeah, she doesn't point out that he's putting menstrual products in boys' bathrooms. That's a kind of an important part to leave out, the Hillary. Jesus, Hillary. It didn't go well for Hillary. Cat Turd on it. He was responding to Bongino. LOL, rent free. How nice. Oh my God. Miss G. Indeed. Let's tell people everywhere that Tim wants tampons in the boys' restroom. Nice idea, Hills. The golden moo-moo. Hillary cankles Clinton. Michael Cassidy, it's because he mandated them in boys' bathrooms, part of the left's unholy agenda to convince boys that they're girls and girls that they're boys. Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. Loose Wood says, Hillary is proud of Walz for placing tampons in the boys' bathrooms in his state schools. Bobby Diesel, young boys don't have periods, dumbass. You should think before you speak, dumbass. These people are insane. I don't know. It's beyond me. I can't get in the mindset. I'm pretty good at, empathizing and understanding people's points of views and thinking about things from a lot of different angles, but nope. Not this one. XXXY. XXXY. Girl guy. That's pretty simple. Biology is binary for the most part, unless there's, like a mutated individual, like the XY individual in the Olympics with the gametes that gave him her a vajayjay. But that's the exception to the rule. Some people are born with 6 fingers, yet we say humans have 5 fingers. We don't define things based on the genetic anomalies of the species. So XX girl, XY boy. That's all you need to know. These people are out of their minds. Let's see what we got next on the list. Let's hop over to Bey Tweets. George on X dropping info bombs coming out of Georgia. Bush. You guys remember that Lil Wayne song where he talked about Bush knocking down the towers? Anyway, George at Bey Tweets writes, breaking. In addition to their vote allowing observers inside vote tabulation centers, the Georgia State Election Board also voted to approve a new rule empowering county officials to conduct investigations into allegations of election fraud before voting to certify. That's the J6 thing right there. You should be able to investigate the votes before you certify to make sure that it's actually real numbers. Wow, he says, this board has been on fire lately. The Democrat member tried to stop the rules approval by saying they shouldn't be changing election rules 90 days before the election. Oh no, 90 whole days. That's 90 days. That's plenty of time to change election rules. But Janelle King shut her down immediately. Democrats used COVID to illegally change the rules in the 2020 election, but now they want to complain when the state election board is doing it legally. Ironic. These simple new rules the board is approving will stop election fraud in its tracks. I believe Trump will take Georgia, and if they cheat, we now have the mechanisms to halt certification until the cheat is remedied. Yeah, suck on that, leftist scum.
Mr. Chair, I move that we vote to approve SUB Rule 183-1-12-.02.
Second.
We have a motion by Member Johnson and a second by Member King to approve Rule Amendment SEB Rule 183-1-12-02. Any discussion?
So I want to make it clear for the record that this board is determining that 90 days before the election is not too late to be making changes to our election laws, rules, and procedures. Is that
Slurp.
by supporting this rule, we are saying that 90 days before the election is not
She looks like a Democrat.
insufficient time.
Cut from
I
that
think by
same
supporting
weasel
this
cloth.
rule, what we're saying is that we stand with those who have to sign legal documents stating that their information is accurate and ensuring that they have what's necessary to stand by that legal document.
All those in favor of accepting SEB Rule 183-1-12-0.02 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
Nay.
The chair votes nay also.
So it passes 3-2.
Yep, 3-2. Yeah, the motion carries 3-2.
Threeper, good
Mr.
point. 8 fingers, 2 thumbs. Touche. Oh, man. So good news coming out of Georgia. Screw these demon rats. Let's jump into the next topic. We got the FBI raiding the house of Scott Ritter. Concerned citizen at B. Gates is a psycho posted this one. FBI raids Scott Ritter's home. Ritter is an ex-U.S. intelligence officer who is an expert on war and geopolitics. He's been exposing deep state legacy media lies now on Ukraine for a long time. Look at this clip of them searching his cars. FBI is asshole. Nice, Mama Mac and Lady Hamilton Art. You guys linking up. What are you going to talk about? Some tinctures and natural remedies and stuff? That's good to see. Anti-censorship says, just can't really believe any of this stuff anymore. Why would the FBI allow onlookers to just film their top secret investigation? Everything is staged. We don't get to pick and choose what isn't really. It does make sense, anti-censorship. How do you not understand this? They want a chilling effect. They're showing you, letting people watch that they're searching him because, oh no, you're going to be talking about me? Oh no. Because they want you to see the search, so you're scared. This is Gestapo tactics, making a big scene out of it to terrify everybody into compliance and not being willing to speak out. So I don't know what's difficult to understand about that. But what are you thinking that the Donald Trump assassination attempt was staged as well? That Trump did it to bolster his support, anti-censorship? What kind of take is this? I don't get it. So crazy stuff. I think there's an article about this over at Gateway Pundit too. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Where'd it go? I think we have some more information about this whole situation. I guess we'll come back to it. No, I'm not finding it. Okay. Let's check out Kamala's response when she gets asked about the economy. It's the economy, stupid! But she's so stupid, she can't even answer basic questions about the economy. At Trump Daily Posts, Donald J. Trump post from his Truth Social. I don't know if this is actually from Trump's Truth Social, but take a listen to what Kamala says when she's asked about the economy. She clearly knows nothing about economics, so she just diverts and conflates and gives zero substance, not even an ounce, a grain of substance, nothing.
Voters want to hear about issues affecting their lives, like the economy and the border. Should the campaign be pivoting on its messaging?
So there's no doubt that one of the first issues that anyone will think of is the issue they think of when they're at their kitchen table trying to pay their bills, which is, how is the economy treating them? So there's no question whatsoever that that is an important issue, which we have been in the process of addressing. We still need to do more. I would not separate that from the issue of what is at stake in terms of hard democracy. And frankly, I think most people don't think of it in the context of democracy as much as freedom. The freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body.
What the fuck are you talking about, lady? We're talking about the economy over here. Oh, we can't. She knows nothing. She's stupid, so she can't say anything. Donald Trump would be like, well, we're going to do this with tariffs to start bringing in revenue from foreign countries. We're going to decrease the taxes to allow new investment and opportunities and businesses and innovation to thrive. We're going to drill, baby, drill so that we can lower energy costs, give the economy increased functionality and flexibility. You know, he would go through like a bullet point of 20 things, how to improve the economy, lower taxation, you know, et cetera. And Kamala has nothing. She's got nothing. Oh, we shouldn't disconnect it from the ideas of democracy and free choices for women's bodily autonomy. What the fuck are you talking about, Kamala? The question was about the economy. You can't give one sentence about the economy other than, yeah, we need to keep doing work on the economy. Like, you got nothing.
The freedom to love who you love openly and with pride.
Yeah, that's totally about the economy, Kamala. Get the fuck out of here.
Freedom to be able to be free from gun violence. These are fundamental freedoms that are at stake right now. The freedom to have access to the ballot.
Mara Z, good to see you. Hope you're having a good. Oh, is it Wednesday today? Did I forget about? Is it Wednesday? I can't even remember. Yeah, it's Wednesday. That means that it's Hump Day. Hump Day. Booyaka! Thanks for being here for Hump Day, guys. Happy Hump Day to all of you in attendance, all of you censored commenters, info infantrymen, ground forces, info gunners. Make sure to share the broadcast. Send us a sit rep with your screenshots showing your shares so we can tally them up and give you your ranks and promotions in the info infantry. Just a reminder, people who share the links will enter the info infantry as enlisted, soldiers, Marines, airmen, etc. People who donate via, the various forms will enter as warrant officers, a step up from enlisted, and people who subscribe monthly and commit to supporting the show long-term, you are entitled to the rank of a commissioned officer in the info forces. So thank you guys for supporting the show. Let me know how many times you share so I can tally them up and issue you your ranks and promotions. What do we got next? Oh, this is a good one. Somebody made this ad, this spoof of Kamala and Walz ad. Silent Silas posted this also. Okay, who did this? This is quite the ad. So, you kind of spoiled it there, but take a look.
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke.
Don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
I'm Barack Hussein Obama, and I approve this message.
We have to stay woke.
It's really Barack Hussein orchestrating all this. That was a great little touch on the end there. Stay woke, guys. Stay woke. Vote for Kamala. No. How about no? So there was what was reported as a Harris-Walz campaign in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. But apparently it was actually a Bon Iver concert, a local Grammy Award-winning indie folk band that they passed off as a Kamala rally to try to make it look like she could get a crowd of more than 2 people. Kamala Harris and her creepy Marxist stolen valor running mate Tim Walz are holding a rally in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on Wednesday. More like Eau de Toilet. At least when they're there. No, I don't have any beef with Wisconsin, but they turned it into Eau de Toilet while they're there. Only it's not a campaign rally. The Harris-Walz, quote, rally is actually a concert with hometown talent. Grammy Award-winning indie folk band Bon Ivers performing at Harris's campaign. The band's singer Justin Vernon is from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Matt Smith posted a look at the outdoor venue in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, where VP Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz will rally early this afternoon. And it's a concert painted as a rally because there's no other way they could actually get any supporters there. I'm not buying any of this stuff with the polls saying Kamala is doing well or with all the money that they're bringing in. It's money laundering. It's fake polling. I don't buy any of it. People can't possibly be this stupid to be supporting and voting for these clowns. And if they are, we're fucked. We're fucked. So make sure you are stacked to the gills with food, water, and ammo, and also some ammo, because we're going to need all of it if shit hits the fan, which it inevitably will, as we're on the verge of an economic collapse that has been in the works for a century. This is the plan to gut the U.S. economy, stealing the value from the dollar by inflating the currency, centralizing that value to themselves, and then letting the country collapse in on itself so they can swoop in and buy up everything for pennies on the dollar with the money that they stole from us. So that's been the plan the whole time. And we're about to see it happen in real time. And it's going to be fucking horrifying if we can't prevent it. Great Depression times 1,000. This is just it's basic math. If we continue using the dollar and don't like tie it to gold immediately, that's what's going to happen. The biggest bubble ever waiting to implode, heralding a reign of darkness all over the globe. It's going to be fucking brutal. So yeah, don't be fooled by the size of the crowd. This is a Bon Iver concert. Vice President Kamala will draw from some hometown talent on Wednesday when Bon Iver performs at a rally in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Part of a barnstorm tour of swing states that she's doing with her running mate this week, NPR's Asshole reported. Bon Iver, the Grammy Award-winning indie folk band, is led by singer-songwriter Justin Vernon, who comes from Eau Claire, NPR reported. Notice how there is one barely visible Harris Walz sign over here. There's a few. This podium here as well. But look at this. The crowd for the concert. Vomitus. I'm feeling nauseated. Look at, they pass out all the signs and everything. Screw these people, man. After stealing Joe Biden's delegates, the media is desperate to sell Kamala Mania. What are they trying to steal from the Hulk now with the Hulkamania? And Trump with Trumpamania, with the Hulk said that at the RNC the other day? Yeah, the Reaper. Notice the sniper on the roof. Yeah. Yep, I did notice that, Reaper. Kamala Harris has never won a primary. She didn't win the primary in 2020. And she stole Biden's delegates in the 2024 election cycle. But this is democracy, guys. Just remember, this is real democracy. Really? You believe it? This is democracy. Smelling McGroin. Good to see a barnstorm tour. Aptly named, everything that issues forth from her mouth smells strikingly like what is lying around in a barn stall. Good one. Very good. Very good. Very good. Oh, yeah. They're definitely desperate, Mama Mac. Definitely desperate. The Atlanta crowd didn't show up to see Kamala Harris. They showed up to see rapper Megan Thee Stallion twerk. Watch.
Body crazy, curvy waist. Yeah. Body crazy, curvy waist.
This is the state of politics in 2024.
Look at how I body that.
Degenerates twerking.
Good, but they still wanna know. See me in that dress and he felt like he almost tasted that. Num, eat it up. Go play okay, 3, 2, 1. You know I'm the hottest, you ain't never got it.
Silver under attack.
What we talking about over here, y'all? Hey, if you love your body, let me hear you make some noise. And if you want to keep loving your body, ladies, let me hear you make some noise. Hey, body crazy, curvy weight. Yeah. Body crazy, curvy weight. Yeah.
This is fucking crazy.
Through the quarantine, I'm very well. Come on, as you can tell. Got beef from years ago, it's beefing by himself.
I'm feeling like a sadist at the moment, so.
Rule number 2, if they all came with you.
Suffer!
Whoa, whoa.
The ghost in the machine. Crowd 99% AI generated. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. So total eye aids, ear aids, brain aids. Gator, I knew you were going to want to mute it. That's why I full screened it, just to rub it in your faces. Because it's brutal. It's so brutal. Natron, when I run for president, I'm getting the Bloodhound gang back together to have them perform dimes for my music intro. I got to get more into Bloodhound gang. I got friends that like them. All I really know is animals, right? You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. I don't know remember what's this called, what the song is called. So let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Yeah, exactly, Mara. They're very desperate for the black vote. Kamala's going around to record shops buying records, literal records, LPs from black artists. And they're like, oh, well, I love Charles Mingus. Don't you love Charles Mingus too? You think anybody in Gen Z knows who the fuck Charles Mingus is? Kamala, get your shit together. It's more insane than Hillary's hot sauce. I keep hot sauce in my purse. Oh, it sounds like you're pandering. Is it working? Yeah, no, hopefully not. At least, hopefully not. Crazy. So they're paying people to be on stage with them because they can't get organic support, using people's celebrity to drag people into attendance. George at B Hizzy tweets, posted this: breaking. Kamala Harris has been busted for paying influencers and celebrities $20,000 to attend the DNC convention in Chicago. Emails are being sent to influencers from public relation managers who got paid by the campaign to inform celebrities and influencers that they could be compensated by the DNC. Help us to win the black votes, and we'll pay you money, because they don't care about the black people. All they want to do is manipulate them and use celebrities to do it. In addition to pay, the DNC is offering flights, hotels, and high-level access to the convention and exclusive invites to private parties and events happening during the week in Chicago. The deal also requires them to post on social media while at the event. Let's take a look at this. Oh, over on the left, request any A-list influencers / celebrities who'd like to attend the DNC will get flights / hotel credentials to the convention, plus exclusive invites to private parties. Kamala's gonna be on her knees for all you guys at the party, allegedly. And events happening during the week in Chicago. They're heels up parties. That's the type of parties they are. Also, I'm seeking top celebrities to do a post, and the budget per creator is about $20K, but we'd be happy to talk through if there's anyone with a bigger influencer plus messaging aligned. What? DNC. Where? Chicago. Dates? August 18th through 24th. The money is being paid for the required social media post, 1, and attending the events in Chicago between 8/18 and 8/24. Selected guests can stay one night or all nights. Nothing else is required. I'd love to extend this opportunity to you and any other clients you think the DNC should consider. To be considered, please respond here with names.
I'm so honored to be a part of the creators that the DNC, that they have established something new. A different lane for people to get information.
I'm so honored to take $20,000 to pretend I like Kamala Harris, because fuck you, American public. You're going down. We're going to destroy you. Yeah, happy to be here.
And I'm glad that they're giving us our space to show content. It's the newest way that we get information. Traditional media will always be there. It's always been there. But what we do know now is that creators have a lane. Your voice matters too. Even if it's on your phone, through your tablet, iPad, whatever you want to call it, with your camera on your shoulder, whatever you have a voice. And that is what I'm so glad that the DNC, they realize that. DNC 2024 Chicago.
You have a voice. That's why we didn't allow you to select your own candidate, and we picked somebody and just placed them in there who never got any primaries under her belt, who didn't win who won 1% of votes in the 2020 primary cycle. But we care about your voice as we foist our own puppet candidate upon you and give you no say whatsoever because we love democracy. Don't you understand?
That's where you need to be, not where you want to be, where you need to be.
Pretty fire beat, though. Look at these losers, man. Losers. Total quails. All right, let's hop over to Paul A. Sipula at Bubble Bath Girl. Maybe the funniest name on X for a dude. Hilarious. DNC is offering creators $20K flights and hotels to attend the convention from August 18th to 24th in Chi-Town and post about it. And we read through this post on the last one, but I mean, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. They're just straight up bribing people to support Kamala, as we see in this post from Damon Imani. It's so annoying how it automatically starts muted for me on Instagram. I'm going to have to try to unmute it really quick. Okay, here we go.
Kamala Harris is paying black artists to appear on a stage with her and to have their endorsement, which I think is a genius move. Because, of course, the vibe is where it is at. I mean, how can a sane person who does not care about actual policies not vote for Kamala Harris when she had a rapper named Megan Thee Stallion twerk on a stage and rap about her vagina at her rally? Watch. Well, because of copyright issues, I will just read the lyrics. That waist, that ass, them titties. If I wasn't me and I would have seen myself, I would have bought me a drink. Took me home, did me long, ate it with the panties on. If that doesn't make you want to vote for Kamala Harris, you are weird, just like Trump and his supporters. I mean, not only does this guy not pay artists to draw a crowd, but he opens his rallies with a song that goes, if tomorrow all the things were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife.
Wholesome.
First of all, tomorrow all the things could be gone because of climate change, of course. Educate yourself. And that I had to start again with just my children and my wife? Really, dude? Overpopulation problem. You self-centered white colonizer. No matter how you look at this, as I said, the vibe is where it is at. Trump supporters say this election is about good versus evil, which is a weird thing to say, but Kamala Harris and the Democrats have made it very clear that this election is about nothing but that body, right? But you know this pussy fat.
So here's an example of one of these people that was reached out to by the Kamala campaign. A streamer with nearly 30 million total followers melts down after getting harassed by Kamala Harris's campaign and Secret Service for live stream collaboration. I don't know anything about politics. I don't give a fuck. Mama Mac talking about how they're desperate. Yeah, they've called this random dude 7 times. 7 times. It's like the CIA in that video that Mark Dice did contacting Moby. The guy who hasn't had a hit song since like 2004. Moby. To get him to push COVID pandemic propaganda on the public, I think it was. Like, these people they print money out of thin air. So they're like, fuck it, just call everybody. Call up fucking this random dude over here who apparently has 30 million followers sitting in the back of a truck, and Moby. We'll call Moby too. During the Tuesday night live stream, popular Twitch streamer Kai Cenat revealed shocking claims that Kamala Heels Up Kamala Harris's campaign and the Secret Service have persistently been harassing him to collaborate on a stream despite his repeated rejections. Cenat, who has built his massive following of nearly 30 million across various platforms, made it clear that he wants to steer clear of political involvement. The incident comes on the heels of a viral live stream featuring President Donald J. Trump and streamer Aiden Ross, which broke records with more than 100 million views. Ross, a streamer on the Twitch rival platform Kick, brought Trump on for a lighthearted and entertaining session that captivated millions of live viewers. The stream featured the duo laughing, joking, and even dancing, culminating in Ross gifting Trump a rollie in a Cybertruck wrapped with an iconic photo of Trump raising his fist. So here's the clip of him giving him the Rolex, which I lost yesterday, but let's check it out since we couldn't find it yesterday.
I want to present to you this gift right here. I hope you like watches, Rolexes.
Oh, that's a beautiful watch.
Spoiled surprise, man.
You should open it and then show the camera.
That's a great watch, actually.
At least he didn't pick his nose on the live stream with the president.
You like Rolex?
They like Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player and Arnold Palmer and all the...
And Navy SEALs famously were used Rolexes for decades until they replaced them with Casio watches in like the 90s, I think it was. But Navy SEALs standard issue had a Rolex Submariner that they would use in for their underwater operations and stuff. Really cool. Rolex has a fascinating and storied history. Really beautiful and great products by them. I don't know if they're still good, but really cool.
Golf guys and all the other guys, too. I do. This is beautiful. Wow. Thank you. Don't they have nice packaging?
They do. Really, really nice.
Wow, that's so nice. Oh, should I show that to the audience?
Yeah, they can see it.
Fix your volume gate, bro.
I didn't know this. Now I know it's worth it. Wow. Well, my boys said, well, that's such a big show. I don't know what you're doing, but you really are respected. Amazing. I mean,
I appreciate it.
You know, I go into other shows, nobody does a big deal about it.
I do want to say also,
Thank you very much.
shout out to Nelk boys. I know you love Nelk.
Oh, they're great.
They're the greatest.
Well, that was through Dana. You know, Dana's very much into this world. Dana
White. Then we saw the Cybertruck, but here he is getting the gift. We only saw once they had the door open. Let's see his reaction.
Wait, I want to show him the wrap. Sure. Check out this wrap and let me know your honest thoughts.
I think it's incredible. I think it's incredible.
Go to the front.
So you know what they did? AI. What Google did is they took, or they let it happen. See the Secret Service agents here?
Yeah.
They're angry in there. They put smiles on their face.
Right.
What?
You heard about that.
Yeah, no.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, I know. But that's how
He better be careful slamming that Cybertruck door. Apparently with Teslas and the Cybertruck as well, when you slam the door too hard, the whole inner fixtures of like the door with the leather and the handles and stuff just pops right off. Well, we got some video of that happening in a little bit that we'll get into. But let's check out this dude, Kai Cenat, reacting to the Kamala Harris campaign harassing him and Secret Service contacting him 7 times. 7 times.
Be in a penthouse in New York. Then on top of that, I got the fucking Secret Service calling me 5 times, nigga! I don't know goddamn shit about politics, my nigga. I don't know nothing. Hey, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Listen, I had a bad bitch that I've been trying to get on for like the last 3 years, the last 2 years that I haven't spoke to in like a year. I haven't spoke to this girl in so goddamn long who gonna have the audacity to text me, "We need you a part of the campaign." At first I was thinking she was talking about like a game, a video game, like a Modern Warfare game, or some shit.
This guy is retarded. A campaign of like You play campaign, like Call of Duty, you can play multiplayer mode or campaign mode. You didn't realize when the Secret Service was calling you that they were talking about a presidential campaign, bro?
Or if not that, a clothing brand. I'm like, what campaign? Shorty gonna say, we're not gonna get into details. Say it right now. If there's some way, somehow, something was to go into where I do the stream of politics, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm going to sit on my stream and say, why did you guys call me?
Because they're trying to use you to pander to blacks. Because they don't actually respect them. They're just trying to manipulate them by using morons like you who are stupid enough to believe what the Kamala Harris campaign says, although he's apparently smart enough not to. To manipulate the black population. It's ridiculous. Pandering is out of control.
I don't know. I've never did anything with politics. And these blogs are like trying to say, yo, we gotta do this shit, God. And it's all the top blogs. And I'm like, bro, since when did niggas...
How does this dude have 30 million followers? I'm just looking at this stream, this clip, and I'm like, God, you could not pay me to watch this. Oh man, so brutal. So this is the type of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. He's getting pressured by blogs and things to all cooperate with the Kamala Heels Up Mala campaign, and insane. So let's talk about her running mate a little bit. Welcome to Tim Walz's America. Ding, 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 ding. As his home city just burns. Cheddar Steve. What up? He supported this, man. He encouraged this. The BLM riots and everything. It's complete and total. Well, let's see 3PO. Let's get C3PO's opinion. What do you think, 3PO?
This is madness.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, 3PO. Somehow I knew you were going to say that. Let's jump over to JD Vance talking about it. Steve Cortez posted this at Cortez Steve. Kill shot from JD Vance. Come on, we can't be using rhetoric like kill shot after attempted assassination, man. They're gonna, attack us for using language like that.
This is a guy who's proposed shipping more manufacturing jobs to China, who wants to make the American people more reliant on garbage energy instead of good American energy, and has proposed defunding the police just as Kamala Harris does. I think it's interesting, actually. They make an interesting tag team because, of course, Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down Minneapolis in the summer of 2020, and then the few who got caught, Kamala Harris helped bail them out of jail. So it is more instructive for what it says about Kamala Harris, that she doesn't care about the border, she doesn't care about crime, she doesn't care about American energy, and most importantly, she doesn't care about the Americans who have been made to suffer under those policies.
Yeah, just a perpetual incestuous cycle of encouraging people to get arrested, bailing them out, encouraging people to get arrested, bailing them out, working together to just keep the violence going and the rioting going. Oh, man, this is so brutal. So brutal. Oh, man. Gator, it's hard for me to share the memes when you send them in Discord, because when I copy and paste the links from Discord, by the time I get to the show, they disappear. So send them to me in X, and that way the links will work, and I can actually bring them in and show them easier. Just a heads up, but I do appreciate the memes. I'm gonna have to. I'll find them when some videos are playing and get them up on screen. Not trying to ignore you, brother. I appreciate you. But yeah, X is easier for me to save the links, because for some reason, after X number of hours on Discord, the links just don't work anymore. But I saw somebody over here in chat posting a chatter something Walz. That's right, because apparently Tim Walz has deep ties to communist red China and raises red flags. When you combine Tim Walz's deep Chinese ties with his extreme left-wing views, you have some serious red flags that Walz is under the undue influence of foreign communist China. This is Kyle Becker at Kyle N.A. Becker posting this one. Let's check it out. Relentless at thekylebecker.com. Tim Walz's deep ties to communist China raise red flags. When you combine Tim Walz's deep Chinese ties with his extreme left-wing views, you have serious red flags that Walz is under the undue influence of communist China. Tim Walz, the current governor of Minnesota and now the running mate for Kamala Harris, has deep ties to communist China. Walz has visited China around 30 times, wow, and maintains that his experiences there has shaped his views on U.S.-China relations. Walz has openly talked in glowing terms about his many trips to China.
I've been focusing on, and I lived in China, and as I said, I've been there about 30 times, but if someone tells you they're an expert on China, they're probably not telling you the truth, because it's a complex country, but it's critically important for us.
All we need to know is they're communist fucks.
I don't fall into the category that China necessarily needs to be an adversarial relationship. I totally disagree.
China, it should be noted, is a totalitarian. Need to pay, apparently, to get the rest of this article. Let's see if we can go over and find it on archive.is. Maybe we can get the full thing without having to pay. Sorry, Kyle Becker, for trying to skirt the system. But let's see what we can find. It's searching to see if it's been archived. It's not looking good, guys. Not looking good. So you might have to find that on your own. Let's see. Let's jump over to our next one regarding Tim Walz. Crazy B sent this one to me. I think this is a good point. And Crazy B at Crazy B 8383. Make sure to follow Crazy B over on X at Crazy B BEE 8383. Follow her on YouTube, Crazy B Gaming. This is, she says, another story that, if accurate, is very interesting. Mike Davis, Benny Johnson's lawyer and intrepid patriot, says, Dear Tim Walz, would it violate the First Amendment for the Trump 47 Justice Department to prosecute you under the Stolen Valor Act of 2013? Because you've lied repeatedly about your military service. Reposting Matt Wolking. Tim Walz, quote, there's no guarantee to free speech. Oh, is this that same clip we played earlier? Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. So apparently, I don't really know about it, but everybody's saying he is a stolen valor type dude who has lied about his military service. We have a testimony here from a former squad mate of his who said that if he'd gone to Iraq, he'd have been hiding under a desk. Ooh, burn. Michael Schwartz, Western Journal, wrote this article. Anyone who claims to understand the forces at work in the modern U.S. politics has almost certainly exaggerated. For instance, on July 13th, former President Donald Trump responded to a failed assassination attempt with a display of defiant courage, etc. Little more than 3 weeks later, Vice President and 2024 presidential nominee Kamala chose her running mate, a man who, according to a former command sergeant major and fellow NCO, non-commissioned officer in the Minnesota Army National Guard, would, quote, still be hiding under his desk had he not skipped out on deployment to Iraq nearly 2 decades ago. According to retired Command Sergeant Major Tom Behrens, who served a 2-year deployment to Iraq, Democratic Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, whom Harris selected as her running mate on Tuesday, showed, quote, pathetic, unquote, leadership and, quote, abandoned, unquote, the men in his command, all as a prelude to, quote, stolen valor. Behrens made those comments in a 2022 interview with Alpha News posted to YouTube. In sum, the Iraq veteran's charges against Walz, if true, involve both cowardice and dishonesty. Do American voters care about these things, or do they care about celebrity endorsements? Time alone might reveal that answer. In the meantime, Behrens' interview painted a picture of an opportunist who shrank from duty. Oh, and I just had a thought. maybe if they're like reconnecting. Bulldozer 74 goes live tomorrow night, Mama Mac, Thursdays at 9:30 Central on Rumble. Bulldozer 74 live streams. So yeah, the fact that they're connecting these campaign events to concerts and drawing people to the events with famous performers it's hiding the fact that Kamala can't get any actual voters to rallies. So then when they perform the next selection and try to steal the election, it won't be as abundantly apparent as it otherwise would have been that the numbers are fake, because they'll have all these videos of big fat rallies like Trump always has, but with Kamala and co. Last time, nobody bought the steal because all the videos of Biden rallies were like 6 people in 6-foot diameter circles, all separated and standing alone, and there was only like 20 of them per rally. So if they can fake rallies by connecting them with concerts, then they have plausible, deniability of the stolen election, because they'll have videos of rallies with big crowds that make it seem as if Kamala and Walz are actually popular. Continuing here, quote, "As soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung up his hat and quit," Behrens said of Walz. To be clear, the current Minnesota governor never actually made it to Iraq. In 2005, the Minnesota Army National Guard's 1st Battalion, 125th Field Artillery, received a warning order to, quote, "mobilize for Iraq." But Walz, who had a conditional command sergeant major rank, retired and ran for Congress before deployment. Behrens took Walz's place. Though he never satisfied the conditions required to retire as a command sergeant major, Walz nonetheless used that title. Ooh, stolen valor. In fact, in a letter to Walz, Behrens expressed his concern, quote, "I would hope that you haven't been using the rank for political gain, but that is how it appears," the Iraq veteran wrote. Quote, "It's stolen valor is what it is," Behrens said in the 2022 interview. Indeed, Army records show Walz as reduced in rank. Thus, he retired as an E8 Master Sergeant, not an E9 Command Sergeant Major. On the whole, Behrens described Walz as a liar and a coward. Let's check out some of this interview.
The public needs to know how pathetic his leadership was as a National Guardsman.
On a 150-year-old farm in Brewster, Tom Behrens hopes his Tell It Like It Is style will...
Shout out to McGroin Nation over on Rumble. Make sure to hop over to McGroin Nation and check them out. Subscribe. Their constant live streams on Rumble serve as a staging ground to gather patriots and gather the forces to go and raid various great patriot, America First, conservative, libertarian broadcasts all across Rumble. Huge props to McGroin Nation, taking Bongino's army and refocusing the info ground forces to spread the word and build community. Freaking love McGroin Nation. Big shout out to JJR SVL as well. Subscribe to McGroin Nation on Rumble, JJR SVL on Rumble, Lady Hamilton Art on Rumble, and Bulldozer 74 on Rumble. Let's continue.
Old farm in Brewster, Tom Behrens hopes his Tell It Like It Is style will finally get the attention he believes it deserves in Minnesota's race for governor. In a way, he's back again to wage a public war of words against Tim Walz.
Minnie Walz, good to see you.
I mean, what the hell kind of leader does that? I mean, he just... He abandoned us, I mean, what the hell kind of leader does that? I mean, he just... As soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit.
We'll get to Behrens' new message for voters in a moment. But this all starts years earlier, when Behrens says Walz's misleading statements about his military service first led him to come forward in the fall of 2018.
So you try to get this message out.
Hey, Cowgirl! Good to see you, Cowgirl. Hope you're having a beautiful August. Thanks so much for being here. Sorry to interrupt. I know drives people crazy.
18.
So you try to get this message out, but Minnesota's largest newspaper checks it out, says it's 100% true, but yet refuses to print.
When I hung the phone up, I said, what the hell is this, North Korea?
Back in 2005, a warning order went out to the 1st Battalion, 125th Field Artillery to mobilize for a mission to Iraq. At the time, Walz served as the unit's highest non-commissioned officer, but months later, Walz would retire from the Guard, avoid the deployment, and run for Congress. Tom Behrens was next in line for the position and was asked to take his place.
I was like, well, for Pete's sake, if this guy quit, and if I say I'm not going to do it, I mean, what the hell kind of leadership is that? If a company would say that we're going to deploy to Iraq or somewhere and you're going to be gone for whatever amount of time, and then the foreman just says, no, I'm not going. I mean, what does that say to the 500 people that work in that factory?
Behrens would go on to serve in Iraq on a nearly 2-year deployment as a command sergeant major. All while Walz began using that title as a congressman. Behrens says he first contacted Walz with his concerns, sending these letters to Washington. They all went unanswered.
But then we fast forward to the election in 2018 in Minnesota, and you try at that time to get people's attention with this story and also with what seems to be a very misleading statement that he continued to make about his service.
It kind of just sat there. You know, when he was a congressman, he bragged that he was a command sergeant, retired command sergeant major. I'm the highest ranking person ever in the House, and you know, all this lie that he was telling. The state of Minnesota came out after 2018, after this was exposed, and they said, well, he can say that he served as a command sergeant major, but he can't say he's a retired one because he's not.
And that's what he was saying.
And he was saying that, and there was lots of lots of cards coming in the mail, for him to be elected. They said right on there he's a retired command sergeant major, just tooting his own horn, just hanging on the coattails of people that actually are command sergeant majors that went through all the process and put all the time in.
A spokesperson for the Minnesota National Guard said Walz wasn't able to retire as a command sergeant major since he failed to complete coursework and requirements related to the rank. Verified documents show the Army corrected his service record. Walz was reduced in rank to an E8 Master Sergeant after retirement and his conditional promotion. Alpha News again asked Governor Walz if he's using the command sergeant major rank on his campaign website for political gain this year. A spokesperson said this has been in the news before and pointed us to a past story where Walz said, quote, normally this type of partisan political attack only comes from one who's never worn a uniform.
It's stolen valor is really what it is. I don't know of anybody else that's done what he's done. But we called it the truth about Tim Walz.
In 2018, Behrens gave the story the full court press.
We, retired command sergeant majors of the Minnesota National Guard, feel it is our duty and responsibility to bring forth the truth as we know it concerning his service record. I put together information on it and I sent it out to every single radio station and newspaper and TV station I could in the state. The bottom line in all of this is gut-wrenching and sad to explain. When the nation called, he quit.
Twin Cities TV stations and the Star Tribune were silent, even after Behrens says the newspaper checked it all out. The Star Tribune endorsed Walz in 2018 for governor. Between lockdowns, riots, unchecked crime, and a charred police precinct, Behrens felt he had no choice but again to come forward.
Allowing that to be burned down was just like having the Alamo get burned down. It's like, no, you defend that to the last man. If he would have went to Iraq, he'd still be hiding under his desk over there. Because that's just the cowardice that I seen portrayed with him.
So how about when he also comes out and he calls you guys 19-year-old cooks?
I'd take any 19-year-old cook before I'd go to war with him. I don't know how he could even utter such a statement. I mean, it's just absolutely sad.
So this election year, it's all built up again to Behrens' new grain bin message.
He called Jacob Fry an abject failure. So I was like, that's what he is.
Walz is a traitor, also made a return.
And the last one I put together, he said it himself too, as well, if they don't like my job, they can vote me out. So I wrote, vote him out. We need to vote him out.
Yeah, vote him out and don't vote for him in this upcoming election with Kamala. Real quick, I just saw Alicia Savage left a really good comment over on the video. In the comment section, she says, you may not like Cory Bush, but the fact that she was ousted because of AIPAC should scare everyone because it shows what's more important with who ends up in office. The Israel lobby. They own our government. Cory spoke against them, and they spent more money than ever before to get her out. Zionist money controls our elections, and that's nothing to celebrate. We will never be America first. It has been and will continue to be Israel first, no matter who gets in office, because if they got in, it means Israel allowed it. The right needs to wake up to this. Yep, out of the frying pan and into the fire. Two progressive leftists, and they just let the one who's pro-APAC in, basically, and spent a bunch of money to oust Cory Bush. So very astute take, Alicia. Thank you so much for commenting, and appreciate you giving us your thoughts. Let's jump back over to some Walz stuff. Let's see. Oh, we have Ron DeSantis weighing in on Walz. Let's see. Ron DeSantis. Where is my Ron DeSantis clip? I can't find it. Oh, well. All right, let's jump over to Ron DeSantis, who weighs in on Kamala Harris's VP pick, Tim Walz. Margaret Flavin bringing the flavor on this one. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis weighed in on Kamala Harris VP pick, Tim Walz. DeSantis wanted to remind Walz that Minnesota's loss is Florida's gain. DeSantis wrote on X, quote, in 2021, Minnesotans were roughly 5 times more likely to move to Florida than vice versa. They were fleeing a state that, under Governor Tim Walz, turned its back on law and order, increased taxes, and imposed unscientific coronavirus restrictions, harming children and destroying businesses. Walz is an unbridled leftist, an Ilhan Omar-style Democrat that puts ideology above all else. Here's his post on X. Accurate as it seems. Minnesotan Dustin Grage agreed, quote, as a Minnesotan who stayed up 4 days straight with a newborn and no sleep during the Minneapolis riots, I can confirm this is true. It's why Minnesota has lost more residents to Florida than any other state in the country. Damn. Yeah, Florida just soaking up people from all the other states. That's crazy. Oh, man. Retired sports broadcaster Michelle Tafoya added to the concern about Walz's disastrous and dangerous record with a stark reminder that this election is a clear choice between leftism and freedom, between equality and equity, between individualism and collectivism, between nationalism and globalism, between 2 + 2 = 4 and 2 + 2 = 5 and you're a bigot. Quote, I have lived in Minnesota since 1994. It has gone from being one of the safest, prettiest places in the U.S. to, under Tim Walz, being one of the saddest. Police morale has plummeted. More people have left than moved in. Walz is an excellent liar. He let our cities burn, has lost over $500 million taxpayer dollars in the last 4 years to scandal, blamed the spread of COVID on youth sports. I could go on. The country will clearly have a choice between leftism and freedom. Well said. Well said, Michelle Tafoya. Let's see what we got next. Another conspiracy theory proven true? Let's hop down to Hawaii real quick. Nobody's talking about Maui anymore, but it's something that we got to keep our eyes on and not forget about it, because that shit was crazy and intentional, and probably directed energy weapons from their lab studying directed energy weapons right on Maui. But anyway, Wall Street Apes posted this at Wall Street Apes on X. Another conspiracy theory proven true. Guess who essentially owns Maui? You'll never guess. BlackRock. It looks like BlackRock already had a massive interest in buying all the properties and land in Maui even before the fires. What an amazing coincidence. So who owns Maui? After the state of Hawaii, who owns over 154,000 acres on Maui, Alexander & Baldwin is the second largest landowner at over 65,000 acres. And the U.S. government is the third largest landowner at over 33 acres. Okay, so let's take a look at the investors behind Alexander & Baldwin. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. The like there's the Holy Trinity. This is the unholy Trinity right here. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. The inversion of the pyramid of the Trinity. This is crazy, man. Let's take a look at this. I can't remember who this guy is, but he did a ton of really good reports on Maui when all that was happening. Fedora the Explorer, the islands are sacred land, and they're just freaking beautiful. It's crazy everything that's going on down there. You ever hear of what are they called? The Hanuman? They're these like legendary dwarf people, like little tiny people that are reputed to live in the Hawaiian jungles. Interesting stuff.
So, who owns Maui? After the state of Hawaii, who owns over 154,000 acres on Maui, Alexander and Baldwin is the second largest landowner at over 65,000 acres, and the U.S. government is the third largest landowner at over 33,000 acres. Okay, so let's take a look at the investors behind Alexander and Baldwin. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Interesting, don't you think? So, who owns Maui? After the state of Hawaii, who owns
BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. Imagine my shock.
Well, imagine my shock.
Yeah, bet you didn't see that one coming. How about this? Let's jump over to some pop culture type stuff that is related to politics in this case. There was speculation going around a few months ago about Taylor Swift, T. Sweezy, whose name shall not be spoken on this podcast. I fucked up, sorry guys. Saying that she was like a Pentagon psychological warfare operation asset, wittingly or unwittingly. So let's hop over to this. Crazy B sent this. Crazy B 8383 on X. If this is accurate, the world leaders are desperate. And this is posted by Roaming RN at roaming_RN. Since T. Sweezy is again making headlines, this may make it make sense as to why anyone cares. Yeah, who gives a rat's ass? Did you know she was floated at a NATO meeting to be a Pentagon psychological warfare asset? We may have actually played this clip. Is this clip a couple months old? But it's important to bring up anyway. Wait for it, to be used as a psyop for combating online misinformation. Very interesting.
Well, Taylor Swift's the biggest star in the world. Sorry, Gutfeld. She's been blanketed across the sports media entertainment atmosphere. The New York Times just speculated she's a lesbian. And last year's tour broke Ticketmaster. A tour that's revenue tops the GDP of 50 countries. I mean, I like her music. She's all right. But I mean, have you ever wondered why or how she blew up like this? Well, around 4 years ago, the Pentagon Psychological Operations Unit floated turning Taylor Swift into an asset during a NATO meeting. What kind of asset? A psyop for combating online misinformation. Listen.
You came in here wanting to understand how you just go out there and counter an information operation. Well, the idea is that social influence can help encourage or promote behavior change.
But there's no such thing as psyops, guys. The Pentagon doesn't have whole instruction manuals on psychological warfare operations. You're just a conspiracy theorist.
Potentially as like a peaceful information operation. I include Taylor Swift in here because she's a fairly influential online person. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real. Think for yourself. They call you a conspiracy theorist.
Question authority and they call you crazy.
We're crazy, guys. Crazy. Crazy as a fox.
The Pentagon PSYOP unit pitched NATO on turning Taylor Swift into an asset for combating misinformation online. This is nothing new. In the 1950s, the government strong-armed Louis Armstrong into doing propaganda tours across Africa.
Louis Armstrong, should I try an impression? Hold on. I'll keep it. I'll try it a second.
The CIA did the same thing with jazz singer Nina Simone, except they did it without her really knowing.
Okay, I got it. I see skies are blue, red roses too.
In the 70s, Nixon enlisted Elvis in his war on drugs. He gave the king a badge and named him a covert federal law enforcement agent. Michael Jackson was tapped by Reagan using his song Beat It in his public service campaigns against teen drinking and driving.
And then he was talking about the Illuminati and everything, and they fucking killed his ass, allegedly. Ooh, man. That's a crazy one, too.
Michael Jackson persuading minors not to drink. Anyway, so is Swift a front for a covert political agenda? Primetime obviously has no evidence. If we did, we'd share it. But we're curious because the pop star who endorsed Biden is urging millions of her followers to vote. She's sharing links. And her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, sponsored by Pfizer. And their relationships boosted the NFL ratings this season, bringing in a whole new demographic. So how's the PSYOP going? Well, as usual, Biden's not calling the shots because he doesn't even know who Taylor Swift is. He's confused her with Britney Spears and Beyonce.
You could say even this harder than getting a ticket to the Renaissance tour or Britney's tour. She's down in, it's kind of warm in Brazil right now.
Rip Britney's tour?
Former FBI agent Stuart Kaplan joins us now. Stuart, is this feasible?
Jesse, the deployment of a PSYOP in the United States in this day and age is still illegal. The national security law prohibits the deployment of PSYOPs or using an operative for psychological warfare. However, if I was running Biden's management perception team, I would identify someone who would align themselves with my agenda, such as a Taylor Swift, who has close to 600 million followers. I would target her, I would engage her, and I would get her to do what we used to see as like public service announcements. And that type of enlistment, that type of solicitation is analogous to the old days of deployment of a PSYOP. And so in modern times, with these people having such influence and such, immeasurable amount of followers, she can potentially single-handedly swing voters because of just the amount of followers that she potentially can influence. So the answer is yes, Jesse.
Yeah.
That's such a scary reflection of the intellect of the average American, where morons can go up on screen who have no history of expertise in political topics or economics or international foreign affairs type stuff, and they can just be like, vote for the black woman with the gay vagina or whatever. And people are like, like a bunch of seals. Remember, like Jim Brewer? So frustrating, man. So frustrating.
Yeah, because when she posted the link to the vote.org, it's like hundreds of thousands of young Taylor Swift fans all of a sudden registered to vote. I wonder who got to her from the White House or from wherever. Who makes that initial handshake? Is it the binder?
Well, the administration has what they consider a perception optics management team. And those are professionals that go out and identify those people who may be unsuspecting, whether with knowledge or without knowledge, to do
witting or unwitting, like I said,
these type of campaigns. Now, it is possible that Taylor Swift, quite frankly, does not know that she is being utilized in a covert manner to swing voters. But the bottom line is that the Biden administration is savvy, identifying how many followers and how many voters potentially she can influence with either right information or misinformation. She certainly can swing the voters.
Okay, Stuart, thank you so much. I now know a lot more about Taylor Swift than I ever wanted to know. We appreciate it.
Boom. T-Sweezy. Who'd have thunk? Well, pretty much anybody who understands anything about modern politics. It's all a show. It's all a front. It's all a deception. All a psyop. So don't be surprised. Speaking of people being puppeted around to alter people's perception and manipulate people, look at this, posted by Barstool Sports. Snoop Dogg, scumbag, is reportedly being paid $500,000 per day, plus expenses, to gallivant around Gay Paris at this year's Olympics. Wow. $500,000 per day, allegedly. From Barstool Sports, John Rich wrote this. Snoop Dogg reportedly being paid $500K per day plus expenses. Wow. Wow.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance.
That looks pretty gay to me.
Cause you know we're about to rip shit up. Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble.
Yeah, we've had enough of that. Unbelievable. So they're just paying people to promote their stupid ass Olympics, thinking maybe people will overlook the fact that men are beating up women if we bring Snoop Dogg in. Ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. Now Snoop Dogg is being paid $500,000 per day by NBC to dress up in fun outfits and wander aimlessly around the Olympics with seemingly no restrictions whatsoever. I freaking hate Snoop Dogg. Oh man, I hate him. Ever since that music video where he pulled a gun on a President Trump dude, actor with an orange painted, what do they call it? Like blackface style face, minstrel show with like orange and white, big white circles. Is that the John Rich, Donna, who's writing for Barstool Sports, the musician? Look, or is it a different dude? I don't know. I don't even know who he is. John Rich is like a country musician right down in Nashville, has his own bar and stuff like that. Crazy stuff. All right, let's hop over to Robbie Starbuck, who's been doing good work exposing Tractor Supply Co., John Deere, and others. Now he's got an expose. Another expose on Harley. He says, I promised we'd look into Harley Davidson's board of directors, and we did. Meet Alan Golson. He's on Harley's board. He's also the president of the U.S. program for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and a listed contributor for the World Economic Forum. He's a huge fan of equity, DEI, and the term Latinx, or Latinx, which is the dumbest, most ridiculous shit of all time. Unsurprisingly, he's a Demon Rat donor, and he's listed as a repeated donor to the Pride Foundation. Pride Foundation supports transitioning kids and men in women's spaces. Does that scream Harley to you? Nope, not really. A woke board seems to be why Harley hasn't immediately turned around their woke policies to remove divisive social issues from the workplace in favor of merit and a neutral workspace free from politics, sexuality, discrimination, and division. All people want is a workplace to be a workplace again, without divisive issues injected into it, and customers don't want to pay for the political or social views of woke executives, period. Fuck them. Let's check this out. And then I got those memes from Gator over in X. Thanks, Gator, for sending them.
All right, y'all, I promised you we'd go through the board members of Harley Davidson. Here's the first one. Meet Alan Golston. He's the president of the United States program for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. How did he end up on the Harley Davidson board? The World Economic Forum even touts him as a contributor on their website. Does this scream Harley Davidson to you yet? And he is a big believer in DEI. In fact, here he is on LinkedIn championing the new DEI officer at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He also absolutely loves using the term Latinx.
A white adult is twice as likely.
It looks like Don Lemon after going through a microwave.
To have at least an associate's degree as a Latinx adult.
Maybe this is just my hot take as a fellow Latino, but anybody who's dumb enough to refer to themselves as Latinx probably should not be allowed to have a college degree unless they majored in stupidity. Now let's jump to equity. Alan loves the concept of communist equity because that's what equity really is. It's a Marxist term that means that you need to take from others, push other people down who are excellent, and lift people up from the bottom so that they're at the same exact place.
Equality of
outcomes for all
is what it is. You can't have equity without total control of everything. Think about this. You plant 3 plants, same type of plant, same seeds. 2 of them may grow bigger. 1 of them may grow shorter. So you can't just magically make the short one taller. That means you have to cut the other 2 off at the knees to make them all the same height. That's equity. Equality of opportunity would be giving them all the same food, giving them all the same water, and let the biggest ones grow the biggest. The only way that you can have equity is when you have total control over the system. Total tyranny. Lady Hamilton, don't forget inclusion. Here's my hot button. I get crazy about this subject. DEI/Title IX evil. Yeah. Does Title IX even exist anymore? After what they did? No way, Fedora. Is that true? Remember they gutted Title IX, taking away women's rights. But yeah, Judas Pence rode on a rainbow Harley. Sounds about right. There's some rumors about Judas Pence being a flaming get. I gotta censor myself. We're on YouTube. Let's cancel the YouTube feed. Bada bing, bada boom. Posted the link to Rumble over in YouTube. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. But we gotta drag people over to Alt Tech. So come join us on Rumble and X, where we can speak freely and the water is warm. Screw big tech. It's time to raise up Alt Tech. We want equity in the tech world. At least until we're equal with Google. Then we can chop Google down entirely. So, all right, guys. Thanks for coming to join us on Rumble. If you can't make it, we'll catch you on the flip side for Thursday. But until then, let's get ready to rumble!